So the next question we've got, Paul, is probably been touched on actually already, but it's worth kind of just specifically covering it, which is, are you restricted to just short-term lets? If you buy a property that allows short-term lets, is that essentially what an investor's kind of getting themselves in for? Is that the kind of the next step?
No. Like I said, it's just a choice. What we will do is we will outline our figures, whatever we base it on. We'll do the same with the normal tenancy side. We will also give you ideas what happens if you decide you want to manage yourself, or whether you want someone management for you, and then it's your choice. And I say you have got the flexibility to move in between. Now, don't get me wrong, whoever your management company is, they're not going to change every 2 weeks. Let's take some commitment, because it takes a lot of time to build up the brand of a short-term let apartment. So they'll expect some sort of commitment out of you. But I don't think we've ever, talking for ourselves, I don't think we've ever sold anything where it hasn't been occupied. We will always work roughly to a 70% occupancy. So any figures that we then provide someone who's looking to buy something through us will be based roughly around about 70% occupancy. On rates that can be verified. We obviously know our own costings for management, etc. And then we'll do the same on the ASTs, and then it's down to you. And once you buy it, it's your decision to make. We'll just give you the information that you need to make that decision. And it depends on how aggressive you want to be. And I think that, again, like I said, depends on the investor. So if you're someone who's got, a good amount of properties around you, where you're not overly concerned about making sure that if you've got a mortgage, that mortgage is paid for, you can take a couple of months of potentially a hit. You get the rate, then fine. Whereas if you are someone who's really nervous, wants to make sure the mortgage is paid, then we'll sort of say, look, go on the side of caution and let other people do the work for you. Because when something, let's say it's a block of 20 apartments and 10 are on ASTs and 10 are on short-term lets, they don't get marketed by apartment, they get marketed by name. So in Colwyn Bay, it's called Trinity, to be Trinity Apartments. So even if only one was on that method, that brand will be getting raised. So when you decide to then go on to into that route, if you want to go down, all that work's been done for you that you would have to do. The first 6 months are always going to be your lowest return unless you get lucky with a long-term, deep booking.
Just while it stabilizes, I guess, in the market. Starting up a new business would be kind of the same. Getting everything set up. It's so that's how that works, and we'll give you advice based on what we think is best for you and what you've told us, but it is just advice that we will make sure it's done. Now obviously sometimes that advice can be, well, you told me this, we will be as conservative as we can, because we don't know what will happen down the line. And if there's any questions on the negative side, what if. So remember, don't get over focused on rents in general. Think it's still the investment that's still going to work. Just get something secure in for 12 months if that's going to suit you, because we know it'll rent out very quickly. So you're not fixed to, if the property could work as a short-term let, you're not fixed to kind of, first of all, that indefinitely, but also you can start off with that buy-to-let route, and then depending on how it progresses, then you can maybe look at, if your circumstances change or you want to kind of look at that short-term stay, you can kind of maybe look at that as a solution.
They're quite popular as well. With we've had a few clients who've bought who a family in the UK. They want a base in the UK, when they come over, but they also want to get a rental. So in theory, that would have been out of the equation. They'd have had to stop in a hotel past, which thing, because if they were going to rent out wherever they'd bought, it would have had to be on a long-term let, and it would have been someone's home. And I guess that's one of the difference, that the let is someone's home. This is where someone stays, but it's just in a home. And so they can then say, as long as there's enough notice, right, I'm coming over for 3 months. We've got clients who do it in Chester now, I'm coming over for 3 months. I'm going to book it out for that. We're obviously not getting an income, but then we know we can then book it and it provides them an income. So they've actually got a holiday home, for want of a better word. So again, it just shows you how fluid it is. If you're looking for something, and even if it's someone who's potentially getting offered a job in somewhere, like Leeds or Preston, wherever it may be, and wants to use somewhere as a base before they decide whether they're going to take that job, it's things like that. You can do it, and
like I was saying earlier, there are so many people now who buy properties that are, on the big housing estates that generally are off plan now.
Yeah.
And if that balance, if they move out of a property that they were letting or they've sold, it's sold quickly, but that one's not ready, then where do they go? We found with all the floods, the insurance claims, where someone has to move out of their house, they have to go somewhere, and they have to go into somewhere that's fully facilitated in terms of, where they can take the stuff or whatever it may be.